Minister, you're taking this question, are you? Right, okay, thank you very much. So after the double referenda, we know that we can't trust the government to be honest about the legal advice they are receiving. So in order to quell the concerns of the opposition and of the public, will you publish the Attorney General's advice on the EU Migration Pact? This is a very comprehensive document. It is over 1,300 pages. There are various categories in relation to the regulations that need to be followed in relation to future migration, the Eurodac regulation and the changes that are going to be made to that. Currently, at this moment in time, we in Ireland have access to that Eurodac system, but we're told that we will not be able to access that if we do not opt in. The screening regulation is also another document, and there's about 200 pages in that. The asylum procedure regulation, and also the asylum migration management regulation, and finally we have the crisis and force majeure regulation, which basically is a solidarity fund that is put in place to deal with the crisis in member states. So I'm here to listen to what because I've put it, this is the second time I put this question in, so I'm looking forward to hearing the Minister's response.
I want to thank Senator Keogan for raising this matter, which I'm taking on behalf of Minister Helen McEntee. As the Senator will be aware that the Attorney General provides legal advice to the Government, and this legal advice is subject to legal professional privilege in the same way as the legal advice provided to a private client by any solicitor or barrister. The proper operation of government and thereby the public interest is served by this privilege, and it facilitates the confidential consideration by government of sensitive matters. I can assure the Senator that the Minister is fully committed to ensuring that Ireland's international protection system is robust and rules-based, and that our borders are protected. The new EU Asylum Migration Pact is a game changer for Ireland. It was agreed in December last and approved by the European Parliament recently. The pact was carefully negotiated over several years since 2016 to significantly reform the current approach to migration and asylum both in Ireland and across the entire EU. It will also do so by providing a strong, cohesive legislative framework to address the challenges we all face in this area. The pact will speed up the processing of international protection applicants so that they will have a firmer and a fairer system. It will do this through the provisions of mandatory processing times. It will make it easier to return those who are found not to be entitled to protection, and it will introduce greater security checks of applicants, including screening of applicants at EU borders. The pact will reduce the volume of secondary movements and make it easier to transfer applicants to the member states responsible. This is particularly important for Ireland because of the volume of international protection applicants who have or have already applied for protection somewhere else in the EU. It will reduce the time people spend in state-provided accommodation and to support the return of people found not to be entitled to protection. Any delay in opting in would see Ireland continue to operate under our existing systems, which other member states begin to implement the new law. This will likely result in Ireland becoming a more attractive destination for individuals seeking protection, as Ireland would be operating less extensive measures and would not be able to return people to other EU member states. Indeed, if we do not opt in, existing measures which we do not participate in, such as the Dublin regulation, would become defunct, and we would have no legal tool to return people to other EU states. The pact offers us all in Europe a real opportunity to work together to design a system that's firm but fair, based on a fair sharing of responsibility that works for everyone. It is also for this reason that Ireland has participated in the Common European Asylum System since the beginning. We are already part of the Common European Asylum System, and that pact is a reform of the Common European Asylum System. As measures governed by the Protocol 21 of the EU Treaty, the request by Ireland to opt in requires the prior approval of both houses under the Act 2947 of the Constitution. Following the Dáil and the Seanad's approving Ireland's request to opt into the EU Migration Pact, the Minister will start to prepare the general scheme of new legislation to replace the International Protection Act of 2015. This bill will be subject to full pre-leg scrutiny in the usual way. It will then be drafted as usual and fully debated in both the Dáil and Seanad. A core part of Minister McEnteen's role as Minister for Justice is to uphold the Constitution, as she always will do so.
Senator.
Thank you, Minister. And to be quite honest, I'm very disappointed. And, you know, while you've said that legal advice is provided to a private client, the citizens of Ireland are your clients. The citizens of Ireland need to know what the Attorney General's advice is. You are the servant of the people of Ireland. They are the most important people when it comes to the Attorney General advice. And you let the people of Ireland down on March 8th referendum. You didn't publish the advice. And we subsequently found out that you misled the Irish public. And here we have, again, a refusal to publish the Attorney General advice in relation to this EU Migration Pact. And I can see you're asked, the tone of debate will remain respectful. I am talking about illegal immigration, illegal migration into this country. That's what I'm talking about. We all know the benefit where people come to this country on work permits and the contributions they make. Do not muddy the waters with that last line.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Minister.
Thank you, Senator Keogan, and I appreciate the points that you have raised with us today. And certainly, on behalf of the Minister, I would like to assure you that the Irish Constitution requires that the PAC will come before both TDs and Senators, and that is exactly what is going to happen, that there will be full debates in both the Dáil and the Seanad, and that they will also be discussed at the joint Oireachtas committee. As with all new legislation that will be brought forward, this will be subject to pre-leg scrutiny, and that the full legislative process in both the Dáil and the Seanad will take place as usual. The EU Asylum and Migration Pact will ensure, as I said previously, Europe acts as a collective in terms of how migration, and in particular asylum, is managed to ensure the system is both fairer and firmer, and I do look forward to further debate in regards to this.
Thank you, Minister.